might be noticing that I started this drawing like at the sketch stage. That's because I was drawing it. I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't half bad. I might actually do a speed paint with this. And so yeah, I kind of just went with it. I do kind of wish though I would like start recording sometime. Like I don't know if you've ever had this, George.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever have you recorded yourself drawing before or not?
No, I haven't. I feel like I'm too indecisive with my drawings for it to be like to make good speed paints. I don't think anyone wants to watch like trying to draw like a extreme foreshortened hand 20 times and failing.
I mean, yeah, I get that. I mean, my problem with speed paints is a lot of the time I just have huge ass pauses like I'm having now.
Yeah, that's another thing. I walk away from my desk quite a lot and just pace around when I'm drawing.
Yeah, no, like I do that a lot, and I feel bad because whenever I see other artists, drawing, it seems like they just do it in one like block. Like they either do it
Yeah.
in one block, or if they're taking breaks, it's for a really big piece.
Yeah.
For me, it's just like, oh, I'm just drawing a random thing. So it's a lot less impressive for the end result. I don't know. It kind of makes me feel less legit as an artist, I guess, sometimes.
Nah, it shouldn't.
I don't know. It just kind of feels like I'm putting all my best energy in at once, whereas other people are like able to just sort of get it out the way with. But whatever.
Okay, sure.
But yeah, no. On the topic of on the topic of not feeling like a legit art form or whatever the hell, excellent transition. I want to talk about like tone deaf political art. We were mentioning it just before the recording, actually. Like, it's I don't know. I don't get some political art. Like it just like it's you can't have two massively clashing themes to
Yeah.
show like a point. I think a good example of that is whenever I've seen like furry art where people take their mascot and draw them with like a BLM fist or something. And I get that the intention's good, but it just feels like it kind of makes it seem a little silly almost, or a little less serious by them doing
Yeah.
that. I don't know. That's what I think. It has the yeah that's pretty much it. I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on it?
I don't know, not really. I kind of just agree with you.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically like a big discussion, but no, I can't, yeah.
Yeah.
It does feel kind of tone deaf to have a Black Lives Matter thing on like no, not Black Lives Matter, like a Black Power fist on a furry.
I mean, whatever. You could have it could be a black power fist. It could be a fucking,
Yeah, sure.
I don't know, a flag, a national flag or some shit. Like,
Yeah.
oh god, have you ever seen like those people who are like patriotic furries or some shit? They're beautiful. It's
Yeah, they are great.
like, Christ. I think the one that I'll never forget is the Confederate flag fursuit. I think that's easily the best one
I've
I've
seen that, I think.
God, it's so glorious. I mean, I don't know. Fursuits are a whole different thing. They can be very cursed. Have you ever seen Oh god, have you ever seen what's his name? Carpet samples.
No?
Oh Christ. Okay. I'm gonna have to link you that
Okay, cool.
because it's I mean, hopefully someone in the audience knows who Carpet Sample is, and if so, I'm so sorry. I mean, I'm not gonna leave a link. Just Google Carpet Sample furry, and it comes up on Google. Yeah, look at here you go.
But now let's have a surprise.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cursed.
It's very cursed. I don't want to talk
What
about.
animal is that?
I don't think it's. I'll just leave it at it's a combination of multiple stuffed animals, and I don't want to explain the origin of the suit because there's a little bit more going on under the surface that's not very YouTube friendly.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I'll just let's just say that people have described him as a creepy stalker who follows them around conventions when they see him.
At least that's on brand, I guess.
I mean, yeah, it's very on brand. I'd say he single-handedly created one of the best horror characters of this.
Yeah, he's a living creepypasta.
He is. He's a living.
He's a creepypasta that's real.
Is there a creepypasta that's real? I don't know.
He
actually.
He is.
Oh no, he is. Sorry, I thought you meant. Do you think there are any creepypastas that are real? And it's like, no. I think that's the whole gimmick with them. You can't just stick traumatic, creepy things that happen to you and say that that's That's a you can't just say that that's ooh, spooky story. It's like, no, Janice, that's just something bad that happened to you.
Yeah.
Also, I might be trailing off a bit because Riley keeps nibbling my fingers. Because they're a
Okay,
little
cool.
nibble demon, and I'm having to keep them away from the microphone. Gosh, I need to get a more professional setup for this at some point.
Yeah, I'm using a worse microphone now than with the last few episodes because that good one broke.
Oh no, really?
So like my quality's downgraded.
Oh no. I can't tell if my quality's gotten better or not, because I've got these funky wall divide or room dividers in my room now.
Okay.
So it should decrease the echo a little, but who knows? Maybe it doesn't.
Yeah, I can't tell a difference to be honest. So what's your setup now? Where are the room dividers?
It goes like solidly across halfway through the room, because the thing I had before was my room would work as a corridor for the house. Because it's like it's weird. It's just like the entrance to the garden has my room like right there on it, so you have to like go through my room to get to the garden, and it can be a little annoying sometimes when I'm trying to do either university work or I'm just trying to draw or something, and someone just walks in and walks through.
So have you kind of just lost half the room?
I have lost half the room, but I honestly prefer having a bit more of an enclosed space. It's very like it feels very focused. That's probably the best way to describe it.
Okay, I respect that.
Yeah. What else?
To go back to while we were on that tangent away from the tone deaf political art point, I guess like the counter argument is that like they view their personas as like part of themselves. So it's basically like saying they support Black Power when their persona's wearing the thing. They're sort of
Oh no, I get the
that's just how they
intent.
present themselves.
I get the intention. I'm just saying that it kind of doesn't. It doesn't work very well. I don't think. So I'm sorry.
Okay. Question topic, one of my topics.
Yeah, sure. I mean, that was the
Oh,
idea.
yeah. I wanted to talk about my experience with going post food.
But what? Okay.
I tried using like a meal replacement powder for a while because I
Oh.
didn't like cooking.
I mean, I can relate somewhat. So how did that go?
Okay at first. So I still have it. I still take it sometimes. It's just like sort of. It's like it's a cool idea, but I don't think it's very good to like sort of replace all your meals with. It's like I don't think it's good to live the full post food lifestyle.
Well,
If
see,
anything, it's just like not particularly filling.
yeah. Also, I've heard that apparently you can't actually get your full nutritional balance out of it. Like, no matter what people say, like you can't. There's
Is that
nothing
true?
like that at the moment. Yeah, I've seen that there's a lot of controversy around like what was it called? Was it Soylent? By the way, why
Yeah.
would you ever call your food Soylent? That's such a like terrible branding for your
Yeah.
food. It's like, oh yeah, let's name our thing after food made of people. That seems like a great idea. Christ.
Yeah,
I like that
I-
the top Google search is Soylent made of humans? No.
Great.
It's like that's not a rebrand your company. Just call it soy drink. Like Christ, soy drink would roll along so much better with people. Don't call it bloody. That's like if I said, "Oh yeah, I'm releasing my new food, human liver." Like no, don't do that. Bad.
Yeah.
People are gonna have really weird misconceptions about your food. But
And that's not even like the worst branding thing Soylent got into. Like,
Oh,
cause
no.
there's still the whole like Soylent turns you gay thing.
Wait, what?
It's like
What?
no, you've heard that, right? Like the idea that like soy makes
Oh.
you effeminate.
Oh, that's just people being stupid though and thinking like,
Yeah.
because of what was it? Because soy has phytoestrogens in it, and they think
Yeah.
that the thing is, people,
Phytoestrogens
it's plant
that like
hormones.
yeah,
It's not
they
human
don't work as mammal
hormones.
estrogens.
Yeah, that's by that logic. Anytime you eat a vegetable, you're effeminizing yourself. You know.
Yeah.
Oh no, I only
Even
eat
though I
male
still
vegetables.
I still went with Huel instead though, because I didn't want to risk it.
You didn't want to wake up with foul titties the next day, did you?
Yeah.
No, that's fair. Like, God, I remember when that was like Christ. When I was younger, I used to be like a little more century in terms of my politics, let's say.
Yeah.
I don't want to say right because I was never really right wing, but I remember I used to engage, well not engage, I just sort of watch discussions that people would have about stuff like soy, right?
Yeah.
And the one that stood out to me was when they unironically were talking about like, oh god, what was it? It was some burger. I can't remember now. Was it the Impossible Burger? They're like, well,
Well,
that
that was
gives.
pretty recent, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
I remember seeing people talk about that though. It was pretty funny.
okay.
It was that and seeing people talk about like soy, like anything with soy in general. Is like, they acted like if you ate like a goddamn teaspoon of soy, you'd wake up the next day with fucking double D cups, you know? Like,
Yeah.
like people are way too paranoid. I think when it comes to that kind of crowd, I mean, I'm obviously talking about like the fucking pole crowd,
Yeah.
but like they're just so paranoid about everything. You need to dial it down a little. Um, what else? Actually, I wonder how
Yeah.
Pole is doing nowadays. I haven't checked it in years now.
Yeah, I checked it like I checked it a bit before like the election last year, just to see what everyone was thinking, and that was kind of
no.
whack.
Yeah, people on there have some funny
Yeah.
opinions.
Yeah, I used to think that like because people on poll were like discussing things that they were right because they were like discussing those ideas. I've sort of
Oh,
realized that I've come
no.
to realize that just because you're discussing something doesn't mean you're right.
Just because you're discussing something doesn't mean you know anything about it. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
I mean, and also, I remember I was talking to someone ages ago who was like, oh, you know, Poll is the place of true intellectual discussion because you have complete anonymity, so the only thing that you can judge someone by is the merit of their ideas. And it's like, that's great and all, but people are gonna upvote funny racist idiot man constantly.
Yeah.
And it's not even necessarily because they agree with him, it's just because they think he's stupid and funny and they want to fucking bump it up. Or as I proved, if you go on Poll and you slap some fat Asian titty on as like the image, and then you talk about like you just pick a race you like, pick a skin color or creed you like, talk about how they're better than everyone else, and watch as the replies fill up with a bunch of salty people. It's like it's really not hard to do. I decided to pick Judaism because, you know, they're really big on the Jews on Poll.
Yeah.
And yeah, they didn't appreciate me using. I think, well, oh god, what did I say? I think it was like, you guys are pro-capitalist, so why don't you like Jewish people? Doesn't that mean they're just better than you if they're succeeding in this society? And they were like, shut
Nice.
up! No! No, they're cheating! It's so funny. And then they were like, can you give me sauce for the image? And I would go, no. No sauce for you. It's like, if you get enough people angry on Poll, you can get to the front page really easily.
Yeah.
It's like, you need to get that nice mixture of unsatiable, horny energy and anger. Also, I'm actually trying to find Poll right now just to see if there's anything on there, but like, I can't even find it looking it up on Google.
Uh,
It's really
yeah,
weird.
did they? What are you searching for?
I just looked up /Poll.
Just try going to like 4chan itself. And find it.
I mean, to be fair, I can understand if they're like, oh yeah, okay, let's see, fortune. Oh, okay, yeah. God, I haven't been on here in ages. I remember I used to do draw threads every now and then, but like, God,
Yeah.
people on 4chan sometimes are just fucking nasty. Which makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy though, because like, people talk about how before 4chan used to be alright, but then when it got like this reputation of being the edgy site, people just started going there when they'd get banned from other places for being little assholes.
Okay, that makes sense actually. So was it ever okay, do you think?
I mean, I wouldn't know, but like,
Yeah, sure.
I mean, there's some, I won't deny, there's some good stuff that comes out of 4chan. It's just that most of the time, it's it's a lot of people who think it's basically Reddit but racist. That's the way I describe it.
Yeah.
It's just racist Reddit, and I mean specifically Poll B. I don't know about V. I've never really been on there. I know that what was it? I know that the niche hobby boards on 4chan are alright. I know that they're pretty
Okay.
chill. It's kind of weird though. I don't know why you'd have like origami in the same like website as. I guess it's just meant to be a multi-purpose bulletin board.
Yeah.
Huh,
Like if it's
Paul is-
multi-purpose, it's like pretty. It's just a few specific purposes rather than like multi-purpose. There's like very few hobbies represented here.
Oh Christ.
Yeah, you find something?
Oh god, I looked at 4chan and it's immediately like, yeah, this is, oh no. Oh no.
What did you see?
Oh, there's Pepe, you know, being...
Okay, that's good. What's the status of Pepe now? Is he still like a...
I'd say that the meme is thoroughly dead for everybody. I think anyone who uses it just lacks any sense of humor. Well, I don't know, that's my opinion. I don't know how everyone else feels, but...
Don't like crypto-fascists use him now?
No,
It's
they
like
use
like a dog whistle.
no, they use groipers as a dog whistle.
Okay. Gotta keep up with those dog whistles.
Like Pepe's okay, but groipers is like fat Pepe with his toes out. It's really weird. I'll just DM you. I'll DM
Okay,
you
cool.
groipers.
Oh, no.
Yeah, sure enough, I'm
Yep.
seeing Jordan Peterson on here as well.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
I have some opinions on that man though. I don't know if I need to be sharing them on YouTube.
Yeah, We've got like 3 episodes on this channel. 2 of them contain Jordan Peterson now.
Do they? Oh Christ.
Yeah, we did
okay.
like another Jordan Peterson episode like back when we did this before.
But that was the pre-vegetable saga.
And what's the vegetable saga?
Oh, Jordan Peterson's a vegetable now.
Okay.
Yeah. I would feel bad for him, if not for the fact that it was really ironic how he ended up becoming one. It's, spoiler alert, it was partially due to his drug addiction, which he...
Wait, is he actually a vegetable?
Well,
like-
okay, so what happened was so you know how he used to really shit talk people for having like, oh, you know, when you have an addiction, you just gotta get over it, it's a matter of willpower, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he didn't want to do that with his drug addiction, so he went to Russia and had them put him in an induced coma while he was, you know, detoxing from drugs, so he wouldn't have to deal with the hard part of going off of drugs, which is the withdrawal. And, you know, very manly solution, even though it wasn't medically advised, because they said, quote unquote, it might cause some brain damage, but he didn't care. And so,
He can afford to lose a few IQ points.
yeah, long story short, he got a lot of brain damage. Because he A, quit cold turkey, which was a terrible idea, and B, was in a goddamn coma for 2 weeks because they put him into one, and so now he can't talk. And it's like, wow. I mean, thank God you're not spreading any more stupid ideas, but it just goes to show how much he believed his own ideas, I think.
You know, gotta admit, didn't picture it ending like this.
I didn't picture it ending quite this, like, on the nose either, but it does say a lot that, like, I almost wonder if some of his advice he gave people was like him just projecting. Like, especially when it came to like, you have to quit because it's a battle of will, you can't be weak, and it's like, who are you talking to, Jordan? Like, your audience or yourself? I mean, in all seriousness though, his drug addiction's pretty sad how it happened, but like,
yeah,
I just can't respect it because he was so incredibly judgmental of other people for having the same problem.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't feel bad for someone if it's that ironic, like how they ended up.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, I don't know how people still take his advice seriously, especially
especially after this now.
Especially when he in the past word for word said, "Don't take advice from someone who's not doing well." It's like, damn, what does that say about you, Jordan?
Was that back when he was doing well when he said
yeah, that was back when he was okay.
Ah, okay.
But you know, basically, if past Jordan saw present Jordan, he'd go, you know what, that guy, he ain't got nothing. You shouldn't follow his advice. He doesn't know what he's talking about. I mean, look at the state of his life.
Yeah.
But maybe because he has loads of money, he'd disagree. Who knows? Anyway,
what good's money when you're a vegetable?
Christ. I can't remember, I made some fucking distasteful joke about that. Oh yeah, I said he used to be a lobster man, now he's a straight up vegetable. Oh Christ. Anyway, talking about eccentric internet personalities, because...
Yeah?
what's God, what was it? My friend, who I will not name in this podcast, he actually got followed by Chris Chan a few months ago.
Okay.
And immediately soft blocked him out of fear that he'd end up on the goddamn Christorian's radar. He was like, nope, not dealing with that, so he just soft blocked Chris Chan. I don't know, Chris is definitely a character. I mean, everyone's talked about
Yeah.
him before, but like, I think it's worth mentioning that like, there are loads of people on the internet who are equally as like, let's say, special as Chris, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it's unique to him. It's very much a thing where it's like, oh hey, look at him, he made Sonichu. What a little what a little special brain idea to come up with. You know, imagine thinking that that's original. But like, I've seen so many things like that before, and I've seen people who act like Chris Chan, but they're not anywhere near as entertaining. They're just sad.
Yeah. So I guess Chris Chan's like as entertaining as she is because of, like the way people talk about her, the way that her life has been documented
I-
and stuff. It's like her life has been mediated to like become entertaining. I feel. Extent. There's this whole like back to 4chan. Her like post. She was posted on 4chan a lot in the early days, right? And then people
Yeah.
like spun a narrative around that. People like picked out the best parts and propagated those. And then she became famous from that, and people kept, and that like drew attention to it, and more people were trying to like sort of spin her narrative in like an interesting way. That's how I think Chris Chan got to where she is now.
Also, I don't know if I'm comfortable with calling, and I should probably clarify, I don't have an issue with trans people. I don't think that there's any kind of I don't think I should delegitimize trans people or even relate Chris Chan to them. I just, given the way that Chris has acted in the past, I feel like it's just another like attempt to get attention by being eccentric. Because I think one thing that my friend mentioned for a while was like Chris Chan pretended to have multiple personality disorder, and when that didn't get him any attention, he just dropped it. It's like,
Okay.
I think that Chris does play up the kind of... I'm really trying to avoid using the word autistic, alright? I'm trying really hard, but... God, what can you call that? What can you call that complete lack of social tact? If not, like... I mean, isn't that medically what autism is described as? Is like... an inability to engage with others socially? I might be completely wrong, hold on.
Yeah, I think that is like a part of it.
A developmental disorder of variable severity that is characterized by difficulty in social interaction and communication, by restricted or repetitive patterns of thought or behavior. Huh.
Okay, so yeah, you're kind of right.
It's kind of there. I mean, it's not quite what I would describe Chris Chan's behavior as, though. Chris is more just like, they'll seek attention, but they'll do it in any way they need to. Like, I don't think Chris realizes that like people thinking that you are a loser or that you're pitiful or whatever isn't a good thing to have. But I guess at this point, what else can Chris really do? You know, like they can't just like become a dignified human being now, right?
Yeah, like how do you recover from that?
I'd say honestly the best approach is to just leave the internet and try to get your life together. The problem is that Chris Chan is very, very socially tactless and has a lot of issues because they were never taught to cope with those issues. I mean, you've seen that with them pepper spraying the GameStop employee over a fucking Sonic thing. So it's like, I don't know. I don't think there is any real hope for Chris Chan at this point.
Yeah, and it's like further convoluted by the fact that like Chris Chan probably would struggle to hold down a real world job and can make money from the internet.
Yeah, it just kind of I guess it just works for Chris to be like an internet like sort of horror show almost.
Yeah.
Because it's like, yeah, they couldn't really work as a normal person, I don't think, which is a shame for them. It's funny for everyone else, but genuinely I feel somewhat bad for Chris.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they're also not the best person anyway, so you can't feel too bad for them, but still, I don't know. despite everything, Chris is still a human being. You have to feel a little bad that
Yeah.
someone's life could go that badly. I don't know. Sometimes I remember joking with a friend, like, yo, imagine waking up one morning and you just are Chris Chan. You just imagined the other life you had in a dream. A life where you were semi-normal at least. I don't know. I don't know how I'd react in his shoes. Probably.
Yeah, it's like it's really hard to imagine
Because it's a very
having like different cognition to yourself.
yeah. Because the thing is, Chris doesn't. Chris has a very different state of mind from other people. I don't know. Oh Christ! And also,
Yeah, like I get nervous about like posting my stuff online.
yeah,
Like,
no, you go first.
yeah, I've got like I feel nervous about like posting my art, even though I've got like the validation of an art degree now,
Ooh.
and I still feel like I still feel nervous about posting stuff.
Oh. I mean, in regards to, I mean, you're talking about Twitter, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, like, I kind of realized that when it comes to Twitter art, it's not really about how good you are at art, it's more about how much you can pander.
Yeah,
Or
sure. I've kind of noticed that as well.
Like, I don't know. Also, it's about, like, posting daily and doing certain...
Gross.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame. Also, contrary to what some people might say, I genuinely think that if you're drawing an SFW art, you will get shit tons of growth. The only downside is if the site decides to, you know, get rid of that, then you're screwed.
Yeah.
But then again, everyone's
like,
screwed at that point, so...
Even the like, I've to an extent, the site trying to get rid of the growth sort of fosters a sense of community and camaraderie between NSFW artists.
Yeah.
So it like sort of makes them more willing to help each other out.
Yeah, they collaborate a lot more, but even if you don't, like, I've seen some people who are pretty new to art, and if they're doing an SFW, they tend to be a lot more well off. Like, I don't know. I'm not trying to like disparage NSFW artists, because I mean some of the best artists I know do that, but like, I don't know. It kind of feels like a bit of an easy way to get a lot of followers if that's what you really want on social media. Like if you just want like big number on your Twitter profile, you draw generic anime style, you draw them in bikinis all the time or just straight up naked, and yeah, then you're gonna have your nice 10,000, 100,000 plus follower Twitter page, because that's just how it be. People like anime titties, what can I say? And you don't even need to draw it very well, that's the best part. As long as it vaguely looks like the sort of generic anime-ish style, you're good.
Yeah. Have you ever been tempted to go down that rabbit hole?
I have actually, I have considered, I even opened an alt account once, but then I just got rid of it because I didn't enjoy making NSFW content that much. Like,
yeah.
Here's the thing, I like drawing fat old titty, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I like drawing NSFW sometimes, but I just can't do it regularly, and I don't like sharing all the NSFW stuff I draw just because it's very personal to me.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just, it just doesn't feel right. It just feels like, it feels like the art equivalent of walking out in public without clothes on, for me at least. I don't know.
Yeah, that does make sense.
Yeah, I don't know. I also just don't want people to see me as someone who draws porn, you know? It's just not something that sits well with me, I guess. I wanna be more of a person who's like, hey, look at this funky critter I made up today. It's called a glingledank.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like the idea of having this, because also some people in the NSFW community are they're obnoxious and they're very entitled.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen people who are like, I don't care, draw boobs. Like, just people who are flat out rude about free content they get on the internet. I'll never understand people like that. It's like, I don't know.
I kind of just don't like the idea that people only want to engage with my content when their dick's hard.
Yeah, that's another thing. It's like, do I really want to have, because you have to think about what kind of, it's not just about how big your audience is, it's about what kind of audience are you making. It's like, do you really want an audience of people who will turn on you at the drop of a hat because you had the gall, the chutzpah to be like, you know, I don't really feel like drawing boobs lately, and they go, what? How dare you? But even outside of NSFW stuff, if you're an artist who like, if you're just an artist, like a regular ass artist, like I found that sometimes people just get really, like I'm not gonna say specifically why, but recently I was like just talking about my opinions on stuff on the internet on my art page, and I had someone get really annoyed at me because they're like, I don't follow you for your opinions, I follow you for your art. It's like, Christ. And I don't care why you follow. I don't care why you follow me specifically. I use my Twitter to express myself. You know, my art is a form of self-expression. My talking is a form of self-expression. You just gotta. It's what comes with the territory. And I get that I could probably have way more followers if I kept my thoughts to myself. But like, Christ, I wouldn't want to be one of those, because I've noticed a lot of people with bigger followings, they worry a lot about how their followers will take anything they say.
Yeah.
It's like you don't want to be on that like razor's edge all the time, I don't think. It just seems very nerve-wracking. Like, have you seen that, George? Where people just sort of... They're like...
Not really, actually.
Really? Huh. I've seen loads of people who are like very apologetic for their opinions when they have to state them. They're like, sorry, I know guys, this might make some of you angry, but I just think that eating cereal's better than toast in the morning. Please don't unfollow me. I don't want to lose you. I need this. It's like, Christ, no, just I want to be able to go on my Twitter and just randomly tweet, haha, clapping ass cheeks with a fucking vase, I don't know. Some dumb shit. I want to be able to say dumb shit on my Twitter and not worry about people being like, how dare you? Like,
I mean, I feel like I kind of prefer that kind of Twitter artist that isn't afraid to like lay dumb opinions bare like that.
Yeah,
it's like that's the kind of person I follow. If I see someone with like cool art and dumb takes, I'm all over that.
I mean, the only time I will say it can get annoying is if you're following an artist and like, I mean, again, tying into the whole tone-deaf political art thing, if it's someone who just ties identity stuff way too much into their art, I find that isn't appealing to me in particular. But there's an audience for that, and they can enjoy that audience, so there's nothing wrong with them doing it, you know?
What do you mean by identity stuff?
So just like people who talk about, what's the one I'm thinking of? Like, so okay, I think there's one artist I follow who he is really good. Sorry, I'm trying to remember who I was talking about. They're a really good artist, like, but the only thing I'd say is that very often they like draw characters that are like overly feminine, and then they're like, this is a boy, and it's like they'll draw one that's overly masculine. It's like, this is a girl. It's like, okay, whatever, that's your thing. And like some people that would be a turn off, right? But you know, that's just who they are, that's what they like to do, and I think people should respect that even if they don't necessarily like it. I don't think it's anyone's place to tell anyone that they can't run their art page how they want, or telling them what they... I don't like people who seem to treat social media like it's just a numbers game, you know? There's no fun in that. If I wanted to get followers, I wouldn't be doing art, I'd be doing fucking Steam gift card giveaways, you know?
Yeah.
But where's the value in that? You've got a bunch of people who could give less of a shit about you at that point. It's the same thing with if you have a Twitter of people who like... Oh god, I think the worst one I saw recently is, do you know who Mr. Peculiar is?
No.
Well, recently I remember seeing him make a tweet that was like... it was him basically saying, yo, I'm a black guy. If you have any issues with that, please just unfollow me. And someone in the reply said, I don't care about your race, I just want boobs. It's like, Christ, you are such a such a prick.
Yeah, that's going out of your way to be like an ass to someone.
It is! Like, people, like, do you really want followers like that? The answer is no. You don't want people you don't want an audience of people who are gonna bully you whenever you try and be open, like, about the slightest aspect of who you are, you know?
Yeah.
It's just, it isn't a good place to be in. I mean, if you wanna... I mean, hey, if you wanna know how lolcows are made, you just get a big audience of people who antagonize you constantly.
Yeah.
Like, it's again, not difficult to do. It's just, most people are sensible enough to know that that isn't worth doing. Okay. I think we're getting towards the end of the video, aren't we? I mean, I'm
Yeah,
assuming.
we've got like a solid 10 minutes left.
But you have to remember the. I don't know, how long was that pause earlier in the video?
Yeah, like a couple minutes, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind a few minutes of silence
Uh,
at the end, but it's just
yeah.
because I don't want to have to cut us off halfway through talking about something.
Okay, sure. Is that
Hmm?
if we done all of our discussion topics?
Um. Oh, there's one thing we haven't talked about, but I don't
Yeah.
know if this is a bit of a highbrow thing, given that the video content is just fat sheep titty being drawn on a character. To be fair, then, I mean, it's not just fat sheep titty. I actually really like this character, and I have some ideas for a story with
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, I like her too.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had that character for years, but I just keep redoing them because they never really feel there design-wise.
Yeah. I especially like the mono horn.
Oh yeah, the mono horn. Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I noticed like partway through this, you were like debating with like brown eyes versus white eyes, and I think you made the right decision.
Yeah, I found that white
like-
eyes didn't contrast nicely with the skin and the hair.
Yeah, good.
It just felt off, which is a shame because I kind of like the idea of drawing them with white eyes because it makes them look less menacing. But I don't know. I guess the contrasting aspects of their design make it more appealing to people.
Yeah. Also, she's like a fire mage, right?
Yeah.
That's inherently a bit of a menacing idea.
I guess so. Yeah. I mean, I was imagining. Yeah, you know, I guess you're right. Maybe I shouldn't. I think I was just being too tunnel visioned when I was making them at the time. I was trying to force something to work.
Yeah. She's got like enough sort of like cozy attributes that you can afford to go a bit menacing in places. I feel.
Yeah, I agree actually. Yeah. I guess I just hadn't thought about it that way. I was looking at it too much as like these are very conflicting elements of their design. I don't know if they're gonna work well together. I was worried it would come off as an edgy design, but like, nah. But
Pretty far from that.
yeah, no. Oh Christ, that's a thing I wish I could do. I wish I could draw like edgy art that wasn't cringy. Like I've tried a few times, but it just doesn't work. The closest I can do is I can do very melancholy pieces, but I can't do flat out edgy characters. It makes me cringe so much when I look at them.
Yeah, sure.
I think it's just because it doesn't I guess it's just a lack of being able to convey the emotion I want to convey to my audience when I'm making it, or even to myself when I'm looking at it afterwards. Like, I don't know. Have you ever listened to like a real edgy song and you want to design something based on it, and then you go to draw with that energy, and it's like, wow, this looks like shit.
Yeah, and that's like my default mode of working.
Oh.
It's like listening to edgy stuff.
I mean,
channeling that power.
It empowers you when you're working on stuff to just listen to edgy music. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's actually a science. I don't understand why we like music so much as humans. It's weird.
Yeah, it's like I've been like studying music theory recently. That's like a hobby I've gotten into, and I mean that like I've learned enough to know that how little I know at this point. I'm sort of at the bottom of the Dunning-Kruger effect graph. I can't really help much, but like there's like certain emotionalities attached to intervals, and just, it's too complicated to get into actually. This is
maybe. I mean,
it's a bad podcast topic.
We only have a few. I mean, maybe you can talk about it on a different one. I don't know. I might do this again.
I'm by no means qualified to do like an introduction to music theory.
Fair enough. That's kind of like me anytime I talk about chemistry. I'm like, I have a bachelor's in chemistry, and they're like, oh, okay, do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, both of us flexed our degrees.
Yeah, let's flex our degrees. I've got well, actually, I don't know if I have a bachelor's. I'm still waiting on the results. Assuming that things went well, I have a degree. Let's just leave it at that. Right, I think we're getting way towards the end of the podcast, so I think we're gonna do some outro stuff. You'll see our links to our Twitter pages in the description down below. So I've been Coro, this has been George.
Yeah.
And I'll see you next time, if there is one. Later.
Yeah.